So, it has been a while. The last Metopia thing I made was last year, and it is March. So, in the description for the next door world analysis, I said this, and then exactly one day later, I get this DM from one of my good old buddy old pals, Pokebro60. And honestly, ever since I saw that DM, this idea has been in the back of my mind as kind of a neat little thing to do to probably cap off the world analysis vids and Season 7 as a whole. And trust me, I already tried making something as a close-off to Season 7 multiple times, and it didn't work any of those times. This is my 5th attempt. So, New Lumos is the last world of Metopia and one of the 2 post-game worlds. It's commonly regarded as the hardest world in the game, as well as one of the best. Pretty much everyone has this world really high up on their world ranking for who's actually done one, that is. Me and Pokebro60 both ranked it at 3rd place, while AJ64 ranked it at 2nd place. If you couldn't already figure it out from the previous sentence, I very much agree with the praise that New Lumos gets. It beats out Gauntlet as a post-game world and makes Metopia's post-game actually worthwhile. Now, since I've had this video idea for so long, but never managed to actually make it, I decided to make this one a collab, where me and Pokebro60 will both give our opinion on the world separately, and then see how similar our opinions ended up being. Let's get started. So, I'll go ahead and start with the asset that I usually save for last in these, and that is plot. That is because New Lumos has basically a non-existent one. There's one cutscene at the very beginning where the X-Dart Lord basically just tells you what exactly you should expect from this world, and then after that there's the cutscene where the Reborn Curse spawns the Tower of Dread. Both of these don't really mean much and are completely negligible when compared to anything else. New Lumos' focus really shouldn't be plot since it's post-game, so therefore I really like this decision of just not having plot. Gauntlet does this too, but to way less success. New Lumos' visuals are great. The world itself is basically a rainy nighttime city, and it gives us a really good two-sided atmosphere. On one hand, it resembles what was previously expositioned by the X-Dark Lord very well. It's where all the Dark Lord's most powerful enemies went, and you can definitely feel that while traveling through it. And on the other hand, when paired with the music, it makes for really the best atmosphere in probably the whole game. It's very, very groovy. My only real complaint is the lack of variety. New Lumos has basically no variety in how it looks. It is the exact same way throughout the entire thing. The only true exceptions to this are the 2 towers. Tower of Dread fits in perfectly and is such a nice change of atmosphere after the 8 whole districts of the exact same thing. On the other hand, Tower of Despair feels weirdly disconnected. I feel like the majority of it is because there's cracks in the windows, like the hexagon windows, and it's daytime outside, which really doesn't fit with New Lumos, honestly. The only floor of Tower of Despair which really feels like it belongs is the top floor. Still, it's a good change of pace. Overall, the visuals are very good but repetitive for most of the world, and sometimes just flat out weird. New Lumos' music is amazing. I don't think I'm gonna have to go into much detail. It is just great, and every Metopia player knows this in and out. I'm just gonna go ahead and move on since I don't really have anything to say here. The bosses of New Lumos. First of all, there's plentiful of them, 16 total, and most of them are great. Pretty much every boss is good once you get to it, that being if you do the districts in order, which is what I did on my first playthrough. Second of all, the fact that Nintendo added 8 new bosses with the Switch port in the form of Tower of Despair is awesome. Third of all, Tower of Dread and respectively Tower of Despair in each version are amazing final challenges and do it very well. The one bad thing I have to say regarding the bosses is that the first 8 are entirely just harder refights of previous bosses, with the exception of Calc King for whatever reason. I don't know why they decided specifically Calc King should be original, but sure. Refighting previous bosses is something Metopia is very, very guilty of doing. However, I will entirely forgive it here since it is for 90% of players the final world they will complete, so as a final gauntlet, it serves really well. That's actually one of the reasons the difficulty being so high is such a good thing. It just helps make it a good final challenge even more. And there you have it. That is my opinion on New Lumos. On to Poke Bros.
Thanks, Daniel. New Lumos is a very good world. Trust me, there's a reason why both me and Daniel had New Lumos third on our world rankings. This is the best post-game world and it ain't even close. Just everything about this world slaps. The towers, the districts, this world stands out like a yellow highlighter. And I mean that in a good way. Let me begin my personal analysis, which will probably be very similar to Daniel's. Let's begin with plot. There isn't really much or any at all besides two cutscenes, one with the ex-Dark Lord and one with the Reborn Curse. The one that I care about though is the one with the ex-Dark Lord, where he mentions that New Lumos is a place where the most powerful of the Dark Lord's minions roam. I don't know how they're there, considering you literally just beat the Darkest Lord, but I won't question that. I like this little bit of backstory, even though it's pretty mid, but I'll let it slide because plot is plot to me. New Lumos' music is one of the best in the game. Every single track absolutely slaps, and really fits the theme of New Lumos well. The New Lumos stage theme is my favorite stage theme in the entire game. It really fits the theme, and it feels like I'm walking in a big city at night. I love it. I won't go into more detail on the others, but they all absolutely fucking slap. New Lumos' visuals are amazing and they look cool. All the vibrant neon colors are so cool. The insides and the battle arenas look absolutely amazing. I really like how the Miis are walking on a broken road in like the World Overlord thing, with all the buildings surrounding them. It really fits New Lumos' theme, and it's really amazing. My only problem with this is that there isn't any variety in the visuals. Like, for example, Gyarados Isle has all the different areas, like Midland Marsh and the actual Gyarados Isle, which is the only thing Gyarados does better than New Lumos, honestly. Bosses are the main focus in New Lumos, and they don't disappoint at being good at all. I like the idea that you face familiar bosses, but they are way stronger. Even though it is reusing bosses, it's super cool. All of their design is the same. They're all filled with black and they have a nice neon outline. While simple and repetitive, it's still pretty dang nice. These bosses are all kinda hard and gives New Lumos its difficulty. They are all pretty well balanced, even though I do say three last bosses are way more difficult than the rest. But still pretty good balancing. Because of the goodness of the New Lumos bosses, it sets it up perfectly for a heckish boss rush in the Tower of Dread. And do not get me started on the Tower of Despair. That will make this part longer than it needs to be. Overall, New Lumos is a really amazing world. It makes the post-game in Miitopia really special.
Thanks for watching. Goodbye.